World Network, Dr. Ruth Anderson and Teri Angel here for a meditation a day. Today we are doing a silent meditation, so that means that we're going to go behind scenes and meditate together. Teri's going to play you some beautiful music to meditate to, and we'll come back after we've heard a message from Spirit. And honestly, there's always a message from Spirit. We're glad that you're here, and we hope you have a great meditation. Teri, thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. I love these meditations. We'll start the music now.
All right, friends, we'll see you after our meditation. Teri, can you hear me?
I do hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you. Well, last year the angels had us working on Easter for about a month before Easter ever happened. And then they had us working on Christmas for about a month before Christmas ever happened. And here we go, Easter, a month early. So it was very interesting because Divine Mother just invited us in and she walked us right into this different dimension of when Jesus was on the earth before Easter, so pre Easter, and took us back to the loaves and fishes story. And they had taken us to this in meditation, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, maybe. And what they showed us at that time was that the fish, they focused on the fish, which was interesting, had spirit, had souls, and they were happy to be part of that story of the loaves and fishes, happy to be in Jesus's presence and to be used in that way. And Teri said it was as if the fish were saying, "Here am I, God, send me." Teri, do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, it's from the Bible. I can't quote the exact location, but it's it's a sacrifice when you're open to whatever is in that divine plan and you say, okay, I'm willing. And it's that willingness that is the motivating part of it because sometimes it is a sacrifice to say, here am I, send me, whatever that looks like, right? And the angels actually, when I communicate with the angels, sometimes they have a real sense of humor. And they showed me the little plaque with a fish on it that was battery operated and it was singing a song. And so it was like happy fish. They were happy to do that sacrifice. And I just thought, how many times are we asked to give up something or to sacrifice and we go unwillingly, like, well, if I have to, right? But I didn't see that with these fish. They were like, yeah, let's go. I'm swimming there. So it's such an interesting thought process to see that, right? That you can go willingly into whatever that divine plan is.
And then they showed us the Last Supper and fish being served. And then they took us to right before that when the fishermen were catching the fish for the Last Supper. And we were watching as the fish were like pushing each other to get into the net because they wanted to be part of that. And just seeing their sacrifice. And then the question, they took us through Lent. And then we had to like look up about Lent because honestly, neither Teri nor I really do Lent. But it's about commemorating the 40 days that Jesus spent fasting and praying in the desert prior to the Easter event. But then the big question came up about sacrifice and suffering. And does sacrifice, as we saw Jesus on the cross sacrificing his life for eternal life for humanity from then on, big question about, does sacrifice always mean suffering? Teri, thoughts?
Well, I think we have free will. I'm pretty sure of that. I've been schooled on that by the angels. So when we choose something other than what would be the best and highest thing that we could choose, then that's like a suffering because it's not going to be in alignment with our divine will. So I think that's the suffering part. That's what I get, that when we maybe would rather go to the beach instead of go to work, or when we look at something that we're drawn to and we give that up, we give up, okay, I won't do the beach today. I'll sacrifice my time and go to work instead, which is the responsible thing. So yeah, some of the things we give up, it might seem like it's suffering, but it's really for the best and highest good. And Rick, you had asked, well, these fish that were so willing to give their lives, like, here am I, send me there, did they suffer? And I don't have the answer, but I think what you heard was maybe for that flash of a minute, and then they did their part of what they were here for. They lived their purpose.
Well, and was their suffering different because they knew what the outcome was? And then the question was, well, was Jesus's suffering different? Not that he didn't suffer, because we know that he did. Was his suffering any different because he knew what the outcome was?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe that. And, you know, not to go into a deep rabbit hole, but I believe in dimensions and dimensional energy. And I think that, and I've done this myself, we can put our mind in a different dimension than what our body is going through if we're going through something. I've done that many times when I've had to have some repair, as Gracie calls it, some repair on our body. And, it might not be pleasant. So I think we can put our mindset somewhere else and just let it meditate or think about positive things. So, yeah, I think Jesus did suffer, the physical body did, but I think he was so prepared for what was coming that he was able to lift his energy to a different place while that was going on.
I hope so.
That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
So then the question was asked of us, what sacrifices are you being asked to make on a human level? And they meant for all of humanity. It wasn't just like, so Teri, what are you being asked to give up? But really on the human level. And then they took us to the universal laws that are universal across religions. And so those key universal truths, and I'm just going to share those with you. The golden rule. So, for example, it's found in Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and others. This principle emphasizing treating others with kindness and avoiding harm. One of them is the interconnectedness and oneness, the recognition that all life is connected and a shared deeper reality exists beyond the physical world. One is moral and ethical living. Core values such as charity, honesty, integrity, and forgiveness are promoted universally. One of them is humility and self-discipline. It's emphasized in many traditions to curb selfishness and promote spiritual growth. One of them is the pursuit of peace, a shared commitment to nonviolence and conflict resolution. One is gratitude, encouraging appreciation for life and its blessings. And the last one listed here, at least, and there may be other ones for you as well, inner transformation, the need for personal internal change to attain a higher state of being. And Teri, I guess for me, those are the sacrifices that I feel I'm being asked to live by. What are your thoughts on that, Teri?
I totally agree, totally. And, when I heard that my mission was to go out and be a peace ambassador and, travel around and talk to people about it, at first it was like, me, like you want me to give up everything, my comfort zone, my cave, the little apartment that I had. It's like, yeah, yeah. And then here am I, God, send me. You know, I finally reached that point of, okay, all right, let's do it. So, yeah, I think these are all what I strive for, all the ones that you just read off, in my own life. That's what I strive for. And I don't see it as a huge sacrifice. To me, it's just part of living the spiritual life, doing the best I can with what I've got.
So for you with these, sacrifice does not equal suffering.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, I am not suffering. I'm extremely happy wherever I'm at. I'm at peace. Um, I do follow a moral compass. Um, I try to be humble and have humility part of what I do, because you can't have ego involved and do this type of mission of thinking of others, putting others first. Yeah, the nonviolence, the gratitude, all of it, the golden rule. I've always tried to live by that. You know, how would I want to be treated? And is that what I'm putting forth and treating others that way?
Yeah. So it was really interesting. I mean, the last thing to bring up is I had asked, so are you wanting us to take this lentil period? This is Lent right now. We're smack in the middle of it, and to be sacrificing food and luxuries and be constantly in the sadness and the angst of Jesus's time in the desert. And the answer that I got was really no, but acknowledge it, be aware of it. But if you're in that place of 40 days of, oh, this is horrible, oh, this is suffering, oh, then you can't be living in the present, and you can't be living in the hallelujah of how it ended, what the end result was. So it was just a fascinating conversation today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and such a great point you just made, Ruth. If we do give up something, let's say a lot of people don't really understand the whole purpose of Lent. I didn't for a long time, but they do it unwillingly. Then it's defeating the whole purpose of that particular, what do you call it even? Um, what would you call that? Lent is a tradition.
Yeah, yeah,
Is it a tradition?
it is.
Yeah. So it defeats the whole purpose of um, involving yourself in it. And it made me think, did I go unwillingly on this mission that I'm on? No, I went willingly. And if I'd gone unwillingly, I probably would have ended up back home in a week. Like, I can't do this. But yeah, our mindset is powerful. And if we have the mindset, okay, I'm going to give up, let's say, meat for Lent, then don't do it unwillingly. Make that choice. We all have free will. You can make the choice. And if you give it up, then let that be a sacrifice. It doesn't have to be suffering, because you're still going to eat something, right? But
Right.
what's the mindset that goes along with the sacrifice that you're making?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yep. Interesting. All right, friends. Well, I know we're going to be looking at several more weeks of Easter before Easter, because that's just how this tends to work. So we look forward to the next couple of weeks with you as they teach us more and more about Easter and this time of year. So, friends, take good care. God bless. We'll see you soon.